Hi there, it's Shell, and today we are making another paperclip craft, so embellishment, and I think this one turned out so cute. Kind of did a little prototype, and I have some little buttons on here, and fabric, lace, stamp, and a little kind of highlighted word. Again, this is inspired by Pinterest. So I kind of just took the highlighted word from Pinterest and just kind of made it my own. So, oops, sorry. I am going to work on these and bring you along. So the first thing I did was pull some words out of a dictionary. So these are kind of older words. An older dictionary. So I think I'm going to use a couple. From this page we have wonder here. Sorry, I kind of zoomed in a little bit on this because we're going to do small handwork, and with my camera I have to turn it off and reset the whole thing in order to zoom in or not. So that's why we're so close today. So I'll try to stay in focus. But the first one I'm going to do is take this word wonder. Now these are some little game cards. I'm not sure what the name of the game was, but they're kind of small, 2.5 by about 1 3/4. You could cut down, like some cardstock and use that if you wanted to. So, but I have a whole lot of these, and it makes it easier when you can use, something that you already have, Sorry, I don't know what that was. Okay, so, and these are glossy, and the one I did, I wasn't sure how well the glue would stick, but it sticks really nice. The paper does. So I'm just going around the edges. And this is the only tricky part, is I just kind of want that to line up with wonder. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just kind of eyeballing it. There we go. That looks pretty good. I can tell that the edge of the card is right here. So that's going to work out really well. And since I am going to use Wonderful as well, I'm going to go ahead and do that before I cut these out. Now you could just cut them down a little bit smaller. You could hold them up to a light source, just to make sure that you're getting where you want to go in your on your card or your paper. So again, I'm just going to line that up. What I'm doing is just kind of lining it up. I have stripes on my background, just kind of lining that up, and then maybe I can kind of get that. Ooh, I barely got that one. That's okay though, it's right here. I would pull it up and kind of redo it. However, when I do that with this glue, and this paper is so fragile, it's older and it's thin because it's an old dictionary, and whenever it's like that, I think it would rip the paper. So I'm just going to leave it, and we're just going to make that work for us. And I think these are really fun to do when you're out, searching for junk journal goodies. I always look in the game sections because I love game pieces, and for something like this, these come in really handy. Sorry. There's that one, and we'll just cut this one out, and then just save your leftover dictionary paper for another use, because you know how I like to just kind of layer. You can certainly layer, just bits and ends and stuff of your dictionary paper. So, oops. am just going to just kind of trim around the edges. You know, you could leave this, if you're cutting out your own paper, you could leave it as a square, but I do like the curved edges, and you know, just using the little card bases makes it work. If you don't have the little cards, you could try it with the larger card. I haven't tried that, but you could certainly do that, you know, and maybe turn them into journaling cards, like back it with some coffee dyed paper. That would be a cute idea as well. So you can kind of use this concept in many different ways. I think that's the fun part. Okay, so I got those pretty nicely trimmed up. I think I was in frame. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a little piece of paper. I have this one over here in the corner, and I'm going to cover my word with it. So let's do wonderful first, because it's a longer word, and I could cut down 2 pieces of paper and do that, but I think this is going to work just nice. And I'm just going to hold that piece of paper because I want this kind of masked off. And I am using my ink blender and some vintage photo. Now, some of you guys have been asking me about these ink blenders. My husband makes these by hand. He carves them, he sands them, and all that by hand. And he hasn't had a chance to this season. But he said he's going to try to make some this weekend. And hopefully they'll be in my Etsy store sometime next week. We'll see what kind of stuff he does, what he gets done. Here is the mask. You're just going to hold it with your hand. Now, another idea, if you don't want to hold it by hand, it is kind of intimidating and it might slide around and stuff, but that looks pretty good, is to get, I don't know if you guys have seen it, is it's like a repositionable glue. So like if you do wet on wet, it will, or if you use it while it's wet, it will, what am I thinking? It will glue permanently. But if you like put it on the strip and let it get tacky, you can reposition it. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go get that glue in a few minutes and I'll show you and we'll see how that works. So let me go ahead and do Wander and then we'll do another one. So I just thought I would just kind of cut this one down. You know, that doesn't bother me. I don't want to cut it too low, too short, because it would be really hard to hold. So what I do is I just kind of hold it on one side and I kind of flip it and then hold it on the other side to cover it up, and then kind of color up the rest of the, do the distress ink on the rest of the way. And this is kind of how the lady on, or the person, I'm sorry, on Pinterest did hers. She did hers a heart, and it was so pretty. And I really loved her technique, and I really wanted to give it a try. Again, if this is your idea and you are visiting my channel, then be sure and let us know, because I do like to give credit where credit is due. So, those are simple. Let me go get that other glue so that I can show you how to use that. And I will be right back. Okay, so here is the glue. I'm going to show you guys this. It's called Zig 2A glue. And I will put this in the description above, below, the description below. So you can get it off of Amazon if you're interested in it. But let me kind of show you how it would work. So what I'm going to do is just kind of find another word here. And here's a word that says sweet. I'm going to kind of measure it to the size I think would work for that. And there it is. Okay, now you take your 2A glue and just kind of dab it on here. And this is a big one. They do have a smaller kind of barreled one. Might be easier, you know, to do. Okay, so, and it's wet right now. So if I was to glue this down right now, oops, flipped it over, it would be permanent. But if I let it dry, and I'll show you that in a minute, it will become repositionable, hopefully. I've never really had any issues with it, and I have used it many times in the past when I was making cards and stuff. Sorry, I know there's glue here, so I just want to kind of clean that up, and I'm just using a baby wipe. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do one of these words using sweet. So I'm going to cut it down this time. See if I can get it better positioned, you know. It just kind of depends. Oops, and then it fell on the floor. But it kind of depends on how I just feel like doing things. You know, there's no right way, no wrong way. Just however I feel like at the time. So, you guys have been so nice. I have been loving your comments, and I appreciate all my new subbies. And I just really appreciate you guys and how sweet you've been. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of see how straight I can get this here. Ooh, that was close. In that it's right close to the edge, but it works pretty good. That's actually not bad. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to keep letting that dry because it's supposed to be kind of blue. I don't know if you can see that. There it is. It's supposed to be blue when it's wet, and then when it's dry, it's clear. But like on this itty bitty piece of paper, I can't really tell what color it is. So here's some synonyms and antonyms. And my husband's the one who pulled some of these out. And because he always like, what can I do to help? And I'm like, pick out some words. So, I don't know what word he picked. We're going to do this attract. You know, it doesn't have to be like a dictionary word. It could be any word of any book. You know, if you wanted to use like a saying from, you know, Huck Finn or something, you know, Huckleberry Finn or Romeo and Juliet, that'd be kind of fun too. Okay, so we're going to try this again. I think that will work right there. So it's kind of fun just to do a whole bunch at one time. You know how I like to do. Let's see, here's magnificent. That's probably the word he wanted to do, but he's napping right now. We did make it back from Telluride, and it was so cold up there, but what's funny is we had more snow in our backyard than they had, you know, in general. And Telluride is so beautiful. It is very congested. There's a lot of people there. And let's see. Make sure I didn't want the words on the other side. You know, and they're not the nicest people when you are like driving down the street and stuff. You know, they'll kind of flip you off if they don't think you're giving them the right of way and stuff. I haven't experienced that yet, but I have heard a lot of stories, and it was super crowded yesterday. So, but we made it, and made it home, and it was a pretty easy job, you know, so that was a good thing. And we had a nice, it's nice when people are nice, you know what I mean? It's just the people we did the job for were nice, and typically they are, because they call us and, you know, request this, and The poor guy has been digging for like 10 hours in this one area. And the area we found the locate was a totally different area. So now he's got to, you know, kind of tell his boss, you know, kind of explain why he has such a huge bill digging. So I told him he did everything right except call us first. So for those of you who don't know, we locate underground phone lines, and people call us when they need help. Like this guy was digging on top of fiber, and it was just a big mess. But I think hopefully now he knows where it is. It was tough on us to find too, so I'm not surprised that he had, you know, so much trouble and stuff. But, and then tomorrow, which I think you guys will see this on Thursday, but I'm doing it on Tuesday. Tomorrow I will be in Durango with my husband. We have some work over there. So I did uplift on here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but okay. So I have all those picked out, and I'm just going to set these to the side, and I'll use them at a later time. Just put them in a file or something. So now I'm just going to trim it. But yeah, Thursday, when you guys see this, is my husband's and I's 21st wedding anniversary. And we typically don't do anything for our anniversaries, but probably when we were in Durango, we probably will, you know, go out to eat or something like that. We typically do anyways. We don't take our lunches because we pretty much live in the car. And, you know, sometimes you just have to get out of the car when you are in it all the time. So we probably are going to have lunch at a restaurant that we like in that area. And hopefully, I think there's supposed to be another storm coming in this weekend. Supposed to start Wednesday, which would be yesterday by the time you guys are seeing this. Sorry, I'm still trying to get all my videos, you know, up, recorded a little bit early, so just ignore my rambling. But I really want to put a video up for you guys, and you know, I am loving doing these little series, I don't know, but I'm loving doing them for you guys and seeing, you know, all the stuff that you guys have created. Oh my goodness, this one girl, I'm sorry I forgot her name, but she is following me. She's so sweet, and she's showing all these pictures on Junk Journal Junkies and Friendly Junk Journals. So if you're not, you know, in any of those groups, then go check them out. They're all on Facebook. I think it's Friendly Junk Journals, Junk Journal Chat, Junk Journal Junkies, which you can show like a fully made junk journal. And then there's another one, Junk Journal Tutorials, I think is the ones I am familiar with. I do have a Facebook page, but it was kind of mainly for my card making, you know, when I was doing that, and I haven't decided if I want to make it into a junk journal page, since that's what I'm into right now, or if I should just get rid of it. So if you guys have any comments on that, be sure and leave them below. Okay, so we're going to play with this and see what we can do. Okay, so I know I had this for sweet. So see, it's sticky on my finger. It sticks. So when you put it down, I think this is the easiest way to go, you know, if you're going to maybe do a whole bunch of these, have a couple of different sizes. And we're going to just kind of go over it. And it glues down so nice. So hopefully it'll come up just as nice. It makes me nervous because when I'm doing these, you know, the paper's kind of fragile and I don't want there to be any issues. I don't want it to rip my word, you know. So I just thought we'd try it because if it works, you know, some of you might find it easier. Okay, we're going to pull it off. And there we go. That turned out really nice. So let's see if we can use the same mask on another one. There's a cat here, of course. This one is Uplift, and it still is holding its sticky. I use the sticky a lot, the mask part a lot when I am doing cutting on my Scan and Cut and stuff like that, because those mats that they have, they seem to lose their sticky quite frequently. So I actually just put a mask on the back of my paper. Perfect. This one's Attract. I bet it'll fit on this one too. Let's see. Yep. How nice is that? So again, that will be linked above, below my brain. If you guys want to look at that and to get in some of that. It's, you know, it's just nice to have on hand. It's certainly not necessary, but I like it. Okay. Take that off. It's not going to fit on that one. And Upstanding. It's not going to fit on that one. This one's a little crooked, but that didn't bother me too bad. So I'm just going to do my other little thing by hand. But you know, if I was doing a whole bunch of these, I would definitely use the probably use the, let's see, which one's bigger, or if they're about the same. I feel like it's just a touch too long. I don't want it quite that long, so. But it's definitely easier because sometimes your hands, especially if you have hand dexterity issues, might cramp up. And don't necessarily want that, you know. I don't really have a problem. Oops. But if I was doing a lot of these, it might. Okay, there we go. And then I'll just do the rest of them. But I think these are so cute. And, you know, you could leave them like this. Just simple. But I like to take them up just a little bit. Hopefully this was a good size for this one. Yep, it'll work. Well, and also, if you're like me and you just pick up dictionaries and books and, you know, you have so much of them. This dictionary is old. I can't remember how old, but I picked it up this last summer at a yard sale. And well, it's so old that not all the words fit in one dictionary, so it's like 2 books. Okay, and that's pretty much all I think, well, mostly we'll need of that. Let me wipe down my area again. Just to keep that from like getting all over my fingers and all over my project. And okay, so now we have all of these. We have Upstanding, Magnificent, there we go. Uplift, Sweet, Wonderful, and Wonder. So, you know, you can get quite a few words out of one sheet of paper. So then what I did is I took and I added an eyelet. So here are my eyelets. And I am just going to, I like the black ones. I did order some bronze ones, but they're size 2, or they're too small for the tool that I like to use. So they're really tiny, and for some reason I can't get that big bite thing to work. You know, it just doesn't work. I'm going to set these over here. But it works for my holes. So I'm going to use this. I have tried it over and over again. I know somebody was asking me to show them how to set one on this, and I'm sorry, it's a crocodile, but I just can't. I can't figure it out either. I'm sorry. So I know a lot of us on Etsy can't figure, or on Facebook, can't figure out how to use it either. So I just kind of stick it under here to punch my hole, and I go in just a little bit further than, you know, the edge, so that because my eyelet's kind of big, I just want to make sure that I have plenty of room for it. So, and I'm done with that. Easy, easy peasy. Okay. Oh. Okay, and then I'm just going to pop one of these little eyelets in here. So we ordered the 2mm eyelets. My husband measured it, and they were small. So I'm thinking that this might be like a 3mm. I'll have to maybe measure it again and just see. So I have like 1,000 2mm, and I used them with my new, I got a new tool because, well, because I had so many eyelets, but it didn't work with those eyelets either. It's really a sad situation. So anyways, I tell ya. Okay, so let me show you my new tool I got. This is, it's actually for leather. And it had all these holes in it, so, you know, it has tiny, tiny holes that you can punch with it and stuff. So I figured it would work for my thing I'm doing, but it didn't. And it actually kind of, the eyelet I used was really thin. And, I mean, it's small, and it jammed it up and all this stuff. So anyways. So this is really easy. I have been using that really big one, or it's a blue one, and it's really old. But this one has like more power to it, the way it's made, that it makes this so simple. I don't have to, you know, squeeze super hard. So I really like this one, even though I'll probably keep the other one. But, I mean, this was like 35 bucks, and it's not really doing what I, you know, got it to do. But I do like it on my eyelets. So, my husband looked and said, this is the one you need, but I can't get it to work. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong for the smaller ones. Okay, so anyways, I got that. That part is done. So now we are going to get some bulb pins. So I kind of want to use those before I put anything else. Now these little pins, somebody recently asked me, they're just, it's like a safety pin, but it's in a bulb shape. They do have them on Amazon, and I do have some on my Etsy store, which is Shell Bear's Creations on Etsy. The link is below as well. So that way, if you guys can't find them, you know. And they just kind of open just like a safety pin. And then you can put them like that. So now I'm just going to make some little dangles for that. And I have to tell you guys, I have been looking everywhere for my beads. I have like a container of beads. And I have cleaned up and reorganized it a little bit, so maybe I just misplaced them, but I cannot find those things anywhere. So, of course, well, I do have some out in the big shed, but I still can't get out there. So, I went to buttons again. So, you could hang anything you want to on here, but I just wanted to kind of show you guys how I would do the buttons. And just using some buttons and some, wire and a little pair of kind of round nose plier things, whatever those things are called. And I'm just cutting like a 5-inch, 4 or 5-inch piece for my button. And then my goal is to kind of, this is one thing I wanted to be up closer so you guys could see me. Sorry, I'm trying to fit this here. This one has 4 holes in it, and I kind of like to go through all the holes when I have them. So I'm going to do that. And I'm not sure what kind of wire this is. It's some that I found when I was looking for my other, and it seems to work pretty well. So now what I'm going to do is I want a wire on both sides. So I have a wire on the back, if you can see that. And then so I'm going to push this wire back in, and it's going to go in the front, because when my guys are, when I'm holding them, my project, I don't want them to, the way I started out doing them, they would hang like upside down, and I kind of want them to hang, you know, straight on my project like this one. See how they hang? Before they would have been, if you don't do them a certain way, they'll hang upside down. So I didn't like that look. So I just want one in the front, one in the bottom, and then you just want to lightly twist depending on your wire. But this wire is very delicate, and if you twist too hard, then you'll break it. So I just want to lightly twist it, just kind of figure out how long I want it, and I like that. So now I'm just gonna do a little round here. So see how I have a little circle? Put my pliers in there, and then I'm just gonna go around that circle and kind of make like a, I think it's called a bell or something, like if you were doing it on a necklace. I tell you. Okay, like that. And then I'm just going to cut it down. And this is pretty simple. You know, I've made jewelry for years and stuff. And then I like to just make sure if there's any rough edges that you kind of press them in, so that, you know, no one gets hurt. But the way it lays is a good way, and it lays the way I want it to. And then I just will put it on my card. So, and then when it's on the card, it lays the way I want it to. So that's kind of fun. Let's do a couple more just to kind of show you guys. I won't do all of these on camera because then it would take forever. But here's a different type of button. Oops. And this one has the bell on the back. So this one, I'm going to try this and see what I can do. But what I have done is I just get the wire and kind of twist it. And I don't know if that's how, you know, you're supposed to do it or whatever, but it works, and it keeps it in the same position that I want it to be. And then we will kind of wrap this here and cut that off here. And I think that works really nice. this one's kind of different type bell. It's kind of smooth, but if I can just, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect or anything. I just am trying to get it to set a certain way, so you might have to kind of finagle with it and stuff like that. Okay, so then I just cut that down, and that's cute, and let's see, we'll put that on here. So what I was aiming for when I was doing mine is I wanted some in different lengths. So let's put it like that, but isn't that cute? The colors and stuff like that. So let's do one more, and because I either like 1 or 3, you know how I am. So let's just kind of do a white button, and I like different colors. So this one's pretty simple, so we're gonna thread it through one, and then I'm gonna thread this bigger side through, and then the other one will go in here in the back in the top, because I want them on opposite sides. So I'm just gonna pull it back through and see how we can do this. And that one is pretty simple. But you know, of course, if you are, you know, do it your way, if you know how to do these. That's just the way I found how to do it. So I just want to kind of make sure that when I'm done, it's going to come down far enough. So I kind of want my bell about right here. So I'm going to have like a huge space, which is fine. You could certainly leave it like that. But if you wanted to, you could add a bead or something. I happen to have this color bead in here, so let's just use that just to kind of take up some of that space. And I think that'll, you know, kind of add a little bit to it. Be kind of fun. So just gonna do my little circle, twist my wire around. You know, most people don't probably twist them this much, but that doesn't bother me. And you know, I was thinking you could use ribbon or something if you wanted to. Instead of wire and buttons, you could use ribbon and charms, or you know, something like that. I think that would be really cute. So let's get that on there. And that's kind of going to give me a, you know, a little bit of extra there. So I'm not going to do all of that part on these guys. You might get really tired of watching that. So I'll do that off camera. But I just kind of wanted to show you guys how, you know, I would do it and to make it the way I want it to be. So now I feel like these need something. Like I said, you could stop here. But I really, since it's like for a junk journal, I really like to add something. You know how we are. So I have some laces over here. I really like this one. So let me kind of do that. Maybe I'll do that for like a couple of them. You know, it doesn't bother me to have a few of them identical, because, or you know, somewhat identical, because usually if I use paper clips in my junk journals, I won't use the same style. So like I'll use the one I did Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. You know, if I want 4 of them, maybe one from each day, something like that. So let's see, we have lace there. I have this lace, which I thought was really pretty. So let's do a couple like that, just to kind of have a little bit of decoration. Let's do 3 like that, because I think it's really pretty. and it's just available. Let's go ahead and use this one on that one as well. So, do that, and then we will glue it down. I can't do that on this one because of my word. It's kind of in the wrong area, so I do have this little bitty stuff. And I think I'm going to kind of make it go up and down. I think that would be kind of cute. So let's do that here. Sorry, Daddy woke up from his nap and now all the cats are like, Daddy, you're awake. So if you hear moaning and groaning, he's really hurting today. So I'm just gonna put this here, and we're just gonna kind of decorate these guys and see what we want to do. That'll be really cute with the charms as well, I think. So I'm just gonna let that dry, and then I'll come back and trim it. So it's really, these are fun to use up some of your scraps. You know how we all seem to have those scraps. I know some of you guys probably don't, but I do. So this is a good place to use them. And we'll just do this other one here. It just goes so much faster once you get your little template. I know I've said that throughout this these series, but I totally believe that, because you know, before I had my one that I'm going by, it probably takes an hour or so to come up with an idea once you settle on an idea. Sometimes, I think, oh, I don't know what I want to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and trim this up. You can do it however you want to. If you like it hanging over like that, by all means, just leave it, Like somebody said, you do you. I think that was on a cooking show I was watching. But, you know how it goes. Do what you like. And that's the fun part of sharing these, because you guys do, kind of do your thing, and I love to see the creativity that you guys have sharing these, I'm not very good at measuring, so I just cut it off. And this one, it's just so much easier to do it like this, I think. And this one. Okay, so let me clean up my mess. You could keep this little odds and ends, but to me, they're a little bit too small. Okay, so now we're just going to look and see what else we want to add here. Chloe, be careful, babe. Chloe's up here.
Oh, we can.
And let's see what I did. Here's my little template one there. So kind of see what I want to add. I do have some fabric. Right here I happen to have just this little tiny scrap. So I think I'll go ahead and use some of that just because I have it. And I could get some other too, but that doesn't bother me. I kind of use the same thing on all of them. So it's kind of a wonky kind of fabric scrap like this. So, I'm just going to use just these little pieces, and it doesn't matter, how it is, but I think I'm going to put that one on here. And I think it's just fun, I know I say that a lot. using the scraps that you already have, you know, bits and pieces and things like that. So, but you kind of just want to add whatever you want to here and kind of make it your own, and then just kind of mess with it until you feel comfortable with the outcome. I think is, let's put this up and down. But you know, if it doesn't look finished to you, then just keep going. Somebody told me that, you know, they were kind of scared at how their project was coming along, but she kept going and she really liked how it turned out. And I think that's what you have to do, is just, you know, keep going even when it doesn't seem like it's gonna work, you know. Okay, so let's add some stamps. Surprise! But I have so many, I still have to use them. So I try to think about stamps on every project. You know, I don't want to use them on every project, but I just have so many of them that, you know, I kind of want to, I don't know, maybe that one. Kind of want to use them as often as I can. Again, I got these stamps off of Etsy, and I think I just looked for like canceled stamps or something, and these came up. Here's a little black one. That one's kind of fun. So I'll look at them again after I find like one for each one, and then decide if I really want to use it or not. Ooh, I like that one. Jamaica. That one's cute. And I don't think that'll go with the fabric. But the good thing is you don't have to, you know, make it match or anything. You can just make it all, you know, different colors, or do whatever you want to do. That's what I like this is, you know, the same people can have the same materials and come up with something totally different. Okay, let's use that one because I like green. Okay, so I like those. I think those are fun. So, you know, the hardest thing to do really is cut out the paper. Nothing else. Well, and perhaps making the buttons. You know, the rest of it is just the fun decorating part. So I really like that part. And pretty much everything I use, I forgot to link my hot glue gun, but pretty much everything I use is, I will have linked below, so you guys can look up anything that I'm using for the most part. And if I do use something that I haven't linked, then let me know and I can get you a link to it so that you can find things. Because sometimes you just want what other people, you know, use, and because it's fun and you like the way it looks. So anyways, this one. So I think these are really fun. Of course, I really have enjoyed the collaging and stuff like that. I think that's definitely my favorite part. So now I am going to just make sure that I don't want to add anything else to the bottom of it. So like underneath while I'm doing my collage, like on this one, I was thinking what would be cute is like two of these little pieces of lace. So I'm going to bring it down just a little bit, and then I'll glue it. And put it here. So when you're collaging, you just want to figure out what you want under and on top, you know, what kind of layers you want. So I think that's kind of cute. I think I'm going to go ahead and put some hot glue because it's kind of bulky. And let's see how we can do here. Oh, and I haven't linked this thing either. I have to put a link for that too. But that one's cute. What do you guys think of that one? And then we'll put the charms over here on the side. Let me take this one off so you can kind of see the full picture. Oops. Can get an idea. So yeah, so that would kind of look like that. That's cute. I really like that one. Let's go ahead and glue this one down. Kind of like that. And I feel like it still needs something, so maybe, let's see, if we had our thing here. See, I feel like it needs something up here in the corner. So I am just going to kind of see what I have over here to the side, and I am going to cut out a little heart. I do have a punch for this, but it's in the other room, and it's just as easy if you're just doing one or two to just make them yourself. And I just fold it in half and then do half a heart, and it comes out pretty well. So let's go ahead and just going to ink around it without coloring the whole thing, just to give it a little bit more interest. And then that can go right there. I think that'll be really cute. Like that. So that is kind of how that one would look. And let's kind of do something with this one. I feel like it needs something because it's kind of plain. Here's our prototype. Okay, let me get it down here. So that's essentially how it would look. So I just want to see what else I want to add, and I think what I want to add is, again, a heart on music paper. Have any more music paper right here? Yeah, if you don't mind, but I want it kind of bigger, so I'm just going to make it kind of like a bigger heart and do it like that. So hubby's gonna go grab me some more music paper. So but see, I used up pretty much that whole little scrap, and I am just going to add this down, but I want it underneath my stamp. So maybe kind of cattywampus this, and then I'll glue down my stamp, and perfect. Thank you, babe. Just kind of like that. And that one's cute. So this one will kind of look like this. Sorry. So I think that's cute. I like that one. Let's do the same thing kind of with this one. I have to figure out the direction of the stamp. I like this stamp because it has all those huge black marks on it from when it was canceled. So I think I do want another heart up here. Let's see, it would be kind of like this, but I feel like it needs something right there. So let me go ahead and glue this stamp down. Sorry, this is my favorite part, so that's why I'm sharing the whole process with you guys. Because I like just kind of getting creative and doing whatever, you know. So I feel like it needs definitely like a heart or something there. So let me see what I want to do. hubby brought me some crinkled up paper, which does not bother me at all because I can use it. So, and again, I am just going to fold this kind of the size heart I want, and just do a little heart. And see, you know, if there's anything else I want to add, and I do. So let me show you what I'm going to do now. Here's another scrap of paper. Let's kind of cut it down and make a, let me show you, a little flag out of it. I think that would be kind of fun. So if I put this here and then put this little guy here, I like how that's looking. Okay. And I'm not adding, you know, sentiments or anything like I usually do, like words, because I want the word on here to kind of be the star of the show. So that's why I haven't, you know, pulled out like my Tim Holtz words or anything like that. So let's kind of have that like that. And then I think to finish this one up, I'm going to add a button. Just a tiny button. This one still has some really old thread in it. I had to think what it's called. So I'm just going to add that to the center of my heart. And since it has the thread, I'm using the hot glue gun because I think that will really hold it. So I'm going to have a little bit of glue there. I'm just going to pull off. So I think that's cute. And how cute is that? Goodness, I still have quite a few to do here, huh? Sorry, I know this video is going to be, pretty long. But I end up just getting busy and just having fun, and you know, that's just what I do. Okay, and this one here, I think I'm just going to call that one done. So I kind of like that. I have this one, so let's kind of put it here, but I think I'm going to add another little piece, another flag here. And then there. Then I'll add the stamp here. And I just, you know, I really like the look of 3 in a collage. I don't think you have to do that, like on the last one I didn't, but more than likely I'll probably go back and add something else. Make sure that's in the right direction. I think it is. I can't tell if that's upside down or right side up. Yeah, I think I see a 1. So that one's kind of cute, and here is how the buttons would look on that one. Isn't that cute? And then let's do this one. And I really love that stamp, so, and I'm happy with how it looks. So let's do that. And then I really like that. And then I feel like it needs something up at the top. So I'm just going to kind of see what I have. I have this little, ooh, I kind of like that. Actually, I don't want to cut it, I don't think. Oh, maybe a little bit, but let's go ahead and glue that down. I just don't want it to cover up my little eyelet there. Then I'm going to trim it. And maybe we'll just put a button there as well. Let me see about this blue one. I don't really like that. Okay, so let's do another heart because I like hearts. So maybe a kind of small one. That's kind of fun. Right in front of me. How cute. Okay, I like that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use hot glue again just because it is bulky there. And let's set that kind of there and press it down with our hot glue tool. And that one is cute. I like that. And essentially it will kind of look like this. Oops, sorry. So I think that's cute. So I'm just going to show you on one of them how I would turn it into a paper clip, because I always do that to show you guys. And that way, in case you haven't seen my other videos, then you know, you still know how to do it. So I am just using some cardstock. I do like to use the cardstock because it is pretty sturdy. So, and I'm just cutting around that eyelet because I don't want my paper showing on the back of the eyelet, through the eyelet. So I'm just putting it on like that, making sure I have it the right way, and I don't. So I like to have the small side on the inside, and then I flip it, so I'll put the glue there, and then we won't see that eyelet, or see the paper through the eyelet. I'm using, again, hot glue, and again, this glue gun will be linked above, below. I don't know why I keep saying above. And it's really, really hot. I think it gets up to 350 or 400 degrees, so you kind of need a silicone thing. And then put it down and use your silicone spatula kind of thing. This will be linked below also, just in case you're looking for one of these. And that is how easy it is to turn it into a paper clip. So, you know, again, you don't have to turn these into paper clips. I am, because that's what I need to build up my stash right now, some paper clip charms. And I like adding bulk to these because I can take them off. If I need to remove it, I can just slip it off the page or the pocket and write, and then put it back on. So I do like adding bulk to my paper clips because I think that's fun. But I hope you guys liked this series so far. I think we have one more day for sure, and I'm kind of leaning towards going into next week with it, so we'll see what we can do. But I hope you guys give this a try. Again, be sure and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate that. Give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps out my channel, and we will see you in the next video. You guys have a wonderful day.